Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Let me just check the volume. Welcome to Cyprus. Welcome to Panossonic UnCut, the podcast here at Cut Radio. It's good to have you from other countries
Oh,
and
thank you.
Cyprus as well. Let's get to know each other first, and then we will let the people that watch and hear us know why you are here. Where should I start? Who wants to volunteer? Names?
Okay, I will start.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm Anna Maria from Italy.
Anna Maria,
Anna
welcome
Maria,
from Italy,
yes,
Maria.
thank you
Anna
so much.
Maria, it
Anna
goes
Maria,
together, right?
Yes, it goes together, yes.
Are you representing any organization from
Yes.
Italy?
From Italy, ARES, that is the coordinator of this project.
Uh-huh.
Massimiliano, who is not here, but it's
He's
yes, here in
he's
the other room.
next doors. He's on
Next door.
yeah.
He is the owner, I can say, of the main idea of Disasterpiece. That is the name of this project.
Disasterpiece.
Disasterpiece.
Okay.
It, of course, it's a joke about disaster and masterpiece, and is also the title of a song he likes very much. But I don't remember well this song. He's a fan of the group, but I don't remember that.
Okay,
that
maybe we should ask him to come in for a
Yes.
moment and
Yes, and
just for a
say-
moment and say what song, yeah?
Yes, but the main connection is disaster with masterpiece. So
Mhm.
make your disaster a masterpiece. This is the
Mhm.
core idea of the project.
Sounds great.
Yes,
I want to know more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next
Okay.
guest.
So
Um,
I'm Emily. from
hello, Emily.
Cyprus.
Yeah.
I'm also working as a project manager in this project representing RISE, the Research and Education Center based in Limassol.
Mm-hmm.
And we also think, I also think that it's a really important project because especially young people need to create their disasters before they create their masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to emphasize that life is not perfect. Life doesn't go as planned, but it's always beautiful, and it can be beautiful if we approach it in a disaster piece way.
That's very interesting, and as I
Yes.
said before, I'm very interested to know more about it. And our third guest, hello.
But not least.
Don't be so sure because I can see people coming and
Yes.
going from the other room soon. Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Arianna. I'm
Arianna.
Italian, but I'm living in Spain, where I represent an NGO based in Reus, that actually is 1 hour from Barcelona in
Mhm.
Catalonia region. And yeah, I'm also working as a project manager for Disasterpiece. Actually, it's a journey that we started almost 1 year ago. And I think that, yeah, as they were saying, Anna Maria and Emily, we are also like joining the path because we are also having our own disaster piece.
Yeah, so you have stories to tell.
I will tell you. But we are trying to make masterpiece. Also.
Yeah.
So
Does that have to do anything with the Airbnb you were saying? Anything? Can we make a beautiful
One-off.
story
Yes.
out of it or not? Maybe.
I will try to make by the end of the day.
She has
scene
disaster pieces in all countries. We can choose.
and try
Okay.
to be a case studies of the project.
A living case.
Because actually it's one of the results of the project. We are working on case studies because the idea is to show someone else that is having and experiencing failures in their
Yes.
own life. So trying to show our participants how other people are also failing in their daily life and can be in case studies in order to show how we can recover ourselves.
It's very not just interesting, also I would say useful for
Useful.
people because we tend to moan
Mm.
or I don't know anything. We think out of disasters all the bad things. But okay, probably this is what I have in my mind. Probably this is a required state at the beginning, but at some point we need to say, okay, let's move on.
Yes.
Isn't it like that?
Yes, I mean, I think anyway, evolutionary, our brain is designed to focus on the bad things. As we also had a meeting with a psychologist in one of our
Okay.
meetings, and she explained how our brain works.
Okay.
and evolutionary in order to protect us. I might be also wrong.
No, it's I actually
Disclaimer.
I have read this is
Yes,
I've read that
but,
as well somewhere.
Also, I think apart from that our brain tries to protect us, if we understand this, it's really groundbreaking, because we can switch to
The positive note after
Yes.
that. Once you realize, okay, I'm safe,
yes.
nothing major happened, then let's move
Yes.
on. I think this is what you're trying to say.
Yes, and also adding to what Arianna said, that a really good, useful thing with case studies is that you understand that you're not alone.
Yeah.
When we
Very,
face
very
problems, we
important.
think that we are the only ones facing a problem, because we are focused on that. But when you talk about it and you listen to other people, I had the same issue, it's okay, or getting some tips, I think it's what makes you human. You understand that it's the human experience.
I can tell that from my own experience as well.
Yes.
The very first thing that comes to your mind is that, oh, why this is happening to me,
Yes,
as if
yes,
as
yes.
if this is only me. So, okay, Anna Maria, Emily, and Arianna, right?
Yeah.
And this is you are here for the this project. Let's say it again. What's the name? Disasterpiece. And this is an EU-funded project,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes.
And is this going on for 1 year already?
Yeah, the total duration I think is 18 months.
Yeah.
Okay, you still have a few months
Yes.
to go.
And we have developed case studies
Mm-hmm.
of people that had challenges in the beginning, but they managed to overcome them, both from everyday people, and our aim was to also include real life stories, not to include only Steve Jobs and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Famous.
Yes.
Stories from everyday people and not
Yes.
just people that Oprah, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
Disasterpiece.
Which of
Yeah.
course it might have been challenging
Challenging,
for them
yeah.
as well from the
course.
beginning, but I think you get a different feeling when you read something about like
Someone who is on your own status level with you. I
Yes,
think
yeah.
this is the
Yes.
importance about it. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and also we are now working on videos, case studies, and podcasts.
Uh-huh. And that's why you're here today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you want to set up like podcasts for those stories in order to circulate them perhaps to people?
Yes, the video and the podcast will be circulated, but the podcast will be not only stories.
Okay.
It will be. We plan also for them to be like tips on how to deal with failures, or tools on dealing with challenging situations.
The aim is just to compose a kind of toolbox that
Mhm.
will not only direct target groups like young people, because the project is addressed mainly at young people.
Okay.
Yes, but of course anyone can benefit from that.
Mhm.
But not only young people directly, but mainly youth workers can use them. Youth workers like trainings, educators, like people working with young people.
Because usually they need it the most. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that other age
Yeah,
groups don't
absolutely.
need it. It's just
Yes.
that this is where we usually get the examples. Older people
Yes.
usually they have learned their lessons, but without meaning that it's not for them as well. Yeah. So please, yes, go on.
Yes. Now, we thought that young people can be the first direct target group of this project,
okay.
because they are most affected by failures in every
Mhm.
field of their life, and they are less experienced by life
Mhm.
in comparison with older people. And young people, especially adolescents, and
Yeah.
they are very fragile, and they can have a hard impact with the difficult things happening in their life.
Yes.
So if we can support them in feeling not alone, like Emily was saying, and that failure is a normal experience in life, and everyone, even the most successful people, can seem fully successful, but it's not, because failure is totally normal, they can feel reassured and they can be more confident even for future failures they will face.
I feel as if what you're trying to do is trying to create a different point of view,
Exactly.
which is very interesting.
Yes,
And as you said, the youth usually, they are the most vulnerable groups, and this is where life hits hard sometimes, and experience requires certain tools.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what's your background, if you like to share? What's
I can start
Anna
again.
Maria? Yes, please.
My background is something typical. I don't. I'm a linguist. In my background, I used to be a university professor, but now I work with a research institute in education in Italy. But I also collaborate with this company, ARES, that is the coordinator in educational issues and challenges like this. So my target group now currently are not only young people but also adult people. I'm very interested in everything dealing with failure because I feel a special connection with failure.
I would be interested to know,
yes,
to be honest. Okay.
So, and I also involved my own psychotherapist in the project.
Okay.
And she, like Emily was talking about, she gave us some kind of, it was not a lesson, but an explanation about how we feel and how failure affects us and how we can change the perspective on it. So that's my special connection for personal and also professional types of failures in my life.
Yes. Okay. Emily?
I have a background in anthropology and social development, but I have always been, through my background, interested in empowering different communities, either migrant communities, marginalized communities, and in this case, young people, because as you said, because it's the first time, eventually the first time for everything, so the first time for failures in this age hits differently because it's the first time you experience it. You don't know if everything's going to be okay, you don't know things how they will go, but if you experience it the second time, you are more relaxed because that's it
been
again.
there, done that.
Yes, exactly. So yes, I think it's really important. And
it came to my mind, I think what's the difference? What is different is that after the age of 18 is where you need to somehow leave your family and you start to take life in your own hands, and this is where all these tools are required. This is where failures come in, and then if we have been in a different environment, sometimes overprotective, especially in Mediterranean countries.
I was thinking 18. No, you are too young to leave your home at 15.
Whereas I feel it's a little bit different in the northern European countries. All these tools are required. And then, Arianna.
List again.
It's okay. I will change direction later.
I'm a social worker and I have a double master degree in international relations and diplomacy. And in Italy, I was mostly working with migrants. And here in Spain, I'm mostly working with teenagers and also migrants and adult people. And I think that was interesting working with migrants because also failure is also connected to the culture. Because maybe in some culture is not the same as in other cultures.
That's very interesting.
And in Italy and in Spain was quite the same. And I think that is really important working in European projects because also you can have another perspective. What does it mean failing in different cultures?
But I think you brought a very interesting point of view in our discussion, exactly that. So could you elaborate? Now I'm starting, see? You are the first point now. This thing, how could you tell perhaps some cultures that they see failure differently, and which countries perhaps are those, and where is the difference?
For example, in our case, as we are working as countries from South Europe, we are trying to focusing or failure as academic, like schools or high school, universities, then we are also focusing on relationships
Uh-huh.
and job market, because we know that as three different countries we have the same needs. So we are trying to help young people and also youth workers to have tools in order to, let's say, reflect on on yourself when you are experimenting some failures with studies or with relationships or with jobs. But in other projects I am also involved and working with countries for north of Europe, and there, for example, is not always a problem job, let's say, looking for a
Okay.
job, or it's also different
I see.
because
You've presented, let's say, three
different,
different domains in life. I would say it's relationships, work, and what's the third?
studies.
And study. Yeah, and career. No.
Yeah, like
Yeah, studies, education, I would say. So now you're saying that different countries, they have different priorities. This is what I understand. Oh, I don't know.
yes,
Please
for
go on.
example, when I was living in Italy, I'm as Italian, and also now in Spain.
Uh-huh.
For example, when you are like 18 plus and you are not going to the university and you are looking for a job, it's not always so easy. So you need
Yes.
to look for some courses and sometimes take times
Uh-huh.
in order to find a job.
Okay.
And maybe in the south of Europe, or actually in Italy and Spain, where I'm living, is more or less like this, and you need someone guiding you in the process of looking for a job, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes can be frustrating because you are not finding the job that you are looking for, and can be a disaster piece, let's say, according to our project. But sometimes in other countries it's not the same, because it's not complicated to look for a job, it's not complicated to find a job that you are looking for.
Perhaps the
So-
structure of the country is as such that it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. I'm interested to know about Cyprus, Emily. What do you know? If you have any data or information, do you share the same culture? Do we share the same culture, perhaps like Italy and Spain?
I can't talk from my experience. I didn't.
Yeah, I can probably
Case
talk
study.
I can probably talk from my experience, but I was wondering if you have any data as well available there.
Yes, we did a research under the project, but it was mainly based on mental health.
Okay.
So I don't have any exact data about
Uh-huh.
this, but from my experience, it's as Arianna said, when you're in school, you think that the whole world revolves around your school and your academic performance. After you leave, you need to go to a job. Like it's what the job are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, basically, it's I think you need to understand the world, and you can only understand the world when you have a bit of experience. So
Yes.
you understand, then you are better in balancing everything.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you find any situations where about marks at the university or at school? For example, if you're getting lower marks, is that considered a disaster? Did you come across this sort of cases?
For me personally, no.
I was talking about not just in
Yes,
Cyprus in
yes.
general. The question was for everyone. Yeah.
But I think in some there are definitely students that have this if they aim to go like
Higher, perhaps.
higher, and like every mark counts. So there is like if they have a specific goal that they are really aiming to reach. But I don't know in the other countries.
Another key elements of the project is that everything can be a failure depending on your point of view. It's not just
Yes. That's why I said
So,
that it's a matter of point of view, definitely.
Yes. The same fact, the same happening can be a failure for one person, but absolutely not a failure for another one. So a bad mark can be a really failure, a real and a big, very big issue for a student, very fragile student, but other can absolutely feel okay with this. So changing perspective or accepting that some kind of these problems happen, and that there is not a per se okay, there are failures, there are okay, you see them, you confront with them, and they are per se failures, but the majority of them depend on your background, your feelings, your attitudes, so are not objectives. So this is a very key point, and understanding this can be an advancement in not to be successful in relation to failures. This is a misunderstanding, in my opinion, because we can think, oh, we have to overcome failure. No, sometimes it is not possible. For example, if you have a disease or if you have a leg broken, you cannot overcome it simply put in these terms. You have to accept it. So it's not only and not on overcome failures. It's just living failure, accepting failure,
embrace.
failures.
Okay.
Yes. It happens all the time. Success happens. Failure happens, and I think there is no human being who does not going through this. So we have to be equipped, and it's very difficult, but it can be.
I
done.
think it's also important to deconstruct the idea of negative feelings.
Exactly.
Because we don't like failure because it makes us feel bad, but that emotion is there to tell us something. If it was useless, we wouldn't have that emotion.
I think if I'm allowed to say something, it's also important to understand that we live in a world that is designed to promote everything successful.
Yes.
Toxic
It's
positivity.
and then
Yeah.
I mean, I know that from the marketing point of view, which is my background, okay, and anything when you switch on the television and all the media, social media, yes, everything out there portrays a perfect world that is and that no failure has any room, there's no place for failure.
Exactly.
And this is, as you said, toxic positivity.
Yes, and I think sorry for it.
No, you're not. We're having a conversation now. It's great, and I like it. Yeah,
and
I hope you do as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially with social media, because we only post the good stuff.
Yes.
So when you are in a context where you always see good stuff, or this trip, or they're handling this situation really well, and you don't see the backstage of life, for example, you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why am I feeling like this? What am I doing wrong? So it's important to also include I don't think they're bad, but I'll just quote unquote bad aspects, to see that they're not bad. They're just part of life. Yes, they don't feel good, but that's I mean, yes, it sucks, but it will pass and we will move on.
It is what it is, I think.
Yes.
So, okay. Where do you want to start, let's say, from this project? At which point now you are of this project? Maybe that's a better.
I was now during the discussion. I was thinking how we started, because we know each other as partners, but we didn't know each other for the project. I mean, like, we started the project with an exercise, and the exercise was like having 1 hour to reflecting about Disasterpiece that we had in our life. And it is how we started to make the group, because of course we are different countries with different backgrounds and experiences as project managers and coordinators. And I think that the project is going good with some disasters, because it's part of the path. But I think that was a good exercise, and I still keep trying to do this exercise, trying to think, okay, there were some disasters, but from the disaster, something good happened in my life. It's like not just with the disaster or failure in your life. Your life is, in the end, like, it's the last day of my life because I'm experimenting a failure. Is a turning point, because from a disaster can happen something new and even better in your life. So with project, we started with the desk research, because as I was saying, we are different countries with different experiences and different organizations also. So we work on the desk research, that actually is a research. It's a document that we are going to upload on the website of the project. Then we will do some dissemination and promote a bit our social that we have for the project. And we worked with case studies, and now we are with podcasts and also
Videos.
events where we will disseminate the project at a local level, let's say.
So you came together in order to set up tools, in order to embrace
Yes.
and perhaps overcome, is that a good word? I'm not sure. Certain disasters, so that we make them disaster pieces. Yes?
Yes,
Or-
basically tools to accept and experience our disasters, which are not
Normalize them.
really
Yes.
disasters.
To normalize
To
them.
normalize
Yes.
To
them.
normalize. Okay.
Yes.
I think it's important to add that this is a small scale project.
Okay.
European projects can be different size. Small size like ours, our project is the small among the smallest one, and allow you to test, to pilot the project to see if it's a good idea and it can be scaled up.
Okay.
And
I see.
So it's like a good place to make very new ideas, to
Okay.
implement very
It's
new
like an
ideas.
incubator. It sounds to.
Exactly,
It sounds to me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So in the development plan was very small but key activities.
Yes.
It's not a big project. So we had to see if the main idea was okay for us, it could work, and develop some key tools to be piloted at a very small and low level. And we had to see, we are still seeing if it can be upscaled to a higher level, spread and include more partners, and of course more people.
It sounds like this is on a research and development phase, I would say, project.
Sounds like-
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But my understanding is that because other countries participate in this project. Which are the
Only
partners?
Cyprus, Italy, and Spain.
Okay, so it's indeed a small scale.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think this is how they count it. It's the number of the partners. Yes.
But in average scale of Erasmus Plus projects, there are 5 up to 7 partners.
Is this an Erasmus?
Yes, Erasmus
okay.
funded. So
okay.
the small scale is 2 or 3 partners from different
Okay.
European countries. So we are a smaller one.
I hope that it will deploy it. I mean, it
We hope
will develop further, because it's, as I said from the beginning, it's important. But also, I'm now interested to listen to. I don't know where you want to lead the conversation. Do you want to go towards the case studies now, or is there anything else you think it's important to refer to when it comes to the project?
I would like to add some reflection about disasters like failures in general, especially in professional life, as I experienced. It's difficult for everyone to understand that failures lack success is the same, does not depend completely on you. This is very key to understand. So if you fail, you think it's not the thing happening. You are failing as an individual.
I think you have touched a
Yeah.
very sensitive,
why I'm
very
saying this,
sensitive
yes.
psychological button.
Yes.
Remember the buttons. This is because I went through psychotherapy as well, and reflecting. And I experienced myself many disasters or failures, if you like calling them. And I would say, accepting that, even though sometimes we think of ourselves that we run the show of our life.
Yes,
Basically, there are only very little things that we
Exactly.
can control, and that hurts.
I think
Yes,
it's also important to realize that our self-worth doesn't depend on
Yes,
things.
that's
It's
very
very connected
that's
to this.
yes, that's very
Yes.
important.
Yes.
This is to be in a position to separate those two. Yeah.
Yes, that
Thank you for saying
you
that.
are worthy anyway, so the university or the job won't make you worthy. Like, you are anyway worthy. So if something bad happens or if you won't get the job, yes, you will feel bad. You are disappointed.
But unfortunately, we live in a life that
Yeah.
makes these connections.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
have to deconstruct.
Yeah.
Yes. And you were saying, sorry,
No.
you were saying something.
Yes, that's the work, the hard work you have to do, to separate yourself like a individual from failure. Failure is not you. Like success is not yourself. It's the same thing. But you are thinking, okay, like for example, even the example of Steve Jobs, of famous people experiencing failure, but then having such a big success can be misleading, because you are forced to think, oh, I can be like him. I
Yes.
experience failure, but I will succeed. No, it does not happen like this, because it can be, but can also not be.
Cannot,
because
yeah.
yes, you can engage.
Cannot be guaranteed.
Yes, absolutely, because you have to be in the right place at the right time with the right people, and it's many things together to be successful, like Steve Jobs.
and this is what people not everyone says most of the times, that Steve Jobs has become Steve Jobs because he was there at the right time, and where I mean, probably if who's the other guy of Microsoft, Bill Gates.
Yes.
I was reading something about it. If he wasn't born at the time he was born, probably he wouldn't be
And
who he
I
is.
also
Yeah.
think it's important to, I forgot.
It's okay, darling.
Disasterpiece.
So-
Yes, that's why we celebrate.
This is a natural course of the conversation, and at some point we need to bring Arianna in. I think.
I'm a good listener.
Okay,
So, and,
right.
I think also it's important to determine what is success for someone. Because, for example, someone could be like really successful in one thing, but
Yes.
if another person sees him from an angle that has different perspective, it might not be the success that is determined for that person. So I think it's also, there's no right or wrong. It just depends on the values and your priorities.
Exactly. And it changes with the course of your life also, because in my where I am now, if I think about success and failure, they are totally different from what I used to thought when I was younger. So there is not a failure or not a success for forever.
I think that also most of the time is related to the value. Like, okay, if I'm getting a good mark to the university, I have a value as a human being. Or if I'm getting a good job, so I have a good value. But it's
Or if I'm
not-
getting a high salary, it's
Yeah.
a
I mean,
no.
that's the system.
how it's built, how it's
yeah.
made.
Nobody has told us that. No, it's actually how happy I feel
Yes.
most of the times, which is also very important.
I think it's basically the system that our society is based on.
The structure is the
Yes.
structure of the society. Yes.
Because if you live in a society that values the money, the work that you do, and unconsciously that's the first thing that you would focus on. The majority of people, of course, there are exceptions, but then it's important to deconstruct that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why in the case studies we are trying to reach our friends, our family, people that they are nearby to us. Because as we were saying, all of us, we know Bill Gates or Steve Jobs because they are
They're
really
famous.
They
Yeah.
are there, and and they are Americans. They are
Yeah, of
or
course. They
whatever.
have made a good job through Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah. But for us, it's also important because we work with young people, and of course we can show them, I don't know, like Di Maria or famous football players or whatever. But for us, it's also important to focus on people that they live the door next to
Next
our,
door.
like the daily life, like normal people, normal lives, like living their life and then changing everything because of something happening. So it's not just showing models or like
Yes.
stereotypes what society is teaching us. It's also showing normal lives, your friend, your parents, or the people living in your neighborhoods.
And to emphasize also that all of these people have the same value. Like
Mm.
because Bill Gates and Steve Jobs have these companies, don't have a different value that our friend that lives next door or any other person. So also to deconstruct the idea that values goes with money as a person, and like
And-
all the lives matter the same.
And I'm going back to what Anna Maria said at the beginning. I mean, they media, they provide these people as models, which, I mean, if you think about it, their net worth is extraordinary, and by default it is not possible for, I mean, these numbers are I'm not even sure if people they want to have that sort of money, to be honest. But if you understand what I mean, these figures are extraordinary for too many people to have. This is basically what I want. Or
They
if
set
they are
goals.
unrealistic goals, or extraordinary for people to need in their everyday lives. So it is important to refer to case studies or real life scenarios for everyday people. And it also happens sometimes that I get across an issue which is not important, but or anything. How to say, strong, but at that moment I don't know how to respond, and that's another issue, I think.
Yes.
Do you get my point? So that's why it's important to have these case studies and be exposed to other stories.
And that's why at the same time we are trying to work with youth workers because they are educators, social workers, psychologists, people that in daily life are
They
working
face.
with the target group, with the young people, with vulnerable groups in general, because actually they have the tools, they know how to deal with failure and with the vulnerable groups. So we are also making podcasts with them in order to share with us tips and tools. And
Arianna, it's been like almost 30 minutes you are here, 37 actually, and I'm curious to listen to those tips. I try to ask that indirectly.
Stay tuned.
No, will you share on this podcast a few informations?
as we were saying before, we still have a couple of months
Okay,
before the end of the project.
okay.
So we are still in the stage because as a project we have different
So you haven't
stage
finalized yet.
yeah. We have
Okay,
a
Yeah.
Gantt chart and everything that is supposed to be in a European Union project.
okay,
So now we are in the phase that we are making interviews with them.
okay.
And making the podcast. I mean, we are not really professional as you for the
Yeah.
podcast. So actually we need more time, like collecting the information and editing and so on.
And also to find the experts
Yeah.
to share
Uh-huh.
the tips, because we are managing the project.
Thank you for your kind words. Arianna, I will take the good word for it. Still, as a podcaster, what aren't you sharing any case studies, maybe, or anything? It can be from personal experiences or anything worthwhile that we can share as an example now.
We have a document. I don't think it's not shared yet with where like text case studies. But if you want to visit our website,
Okay,
we
let's.
have some videos
Yes.
of case studies
Okay.
of different people. This is
including
not
ourselves.
Yes, yeah, I mean not. But we are also working on getting more case studies on that. So,
And what is the website?
the website is
Disasterpiece.eu.
Okay, Disasterpiece.
Yes.
Okay, we write it down on the
Yes.
Oh.
later
Yes,
on,
yes.
so it will be.
So the first sneak peek, if I can't say, of the videos is there, but more will be added soon. And then the podcast, which will be tools and different types of information.
I'm still curious to hear a story, especially from Arianna, though. If you want to share, no pressure, of course. But I think it would be.
We are just making a video and then everything.
But it would be good to give an example, if you like,
Yes, sure. For
to our
example,
audience here. Yeah.
I was working as a social worker with the target group and with young people. There was a guy who was really stressed of family because his father is a doctor, his mom is also a doctor.
He was stressed. Sorry.
Stressed from them, like pressure, like
He felt.
you need to
alright.
study to go to university, become a doctor and everything like this. But his feeling was like to be an artist,
Okay.
like
He had a different inclination.
pianista, like
Okay.
playing piano. Yeah, different inclination. But sometimes also culture and families are stressing us and
Of course.
child, in families. So he was feeling like also in psychology way, like stressed because of family. So he started to study medicine because of family, because everything and the environment and so on. And after a couple of years, he quit the university because it was not his own path. And for the family, it was like a failure, and also for the society, because he was like 25 years old, and it's time to finish the university and start to work and everything. And it was when this person started to focus on his own talents. Like, okay, it's not my talent being a doctor because it's not something that I really want for my life. So he started to focus more on the studying piano and playing and so on. And now he's in a group, and actually it's his job, and he's dedicating his life in playing piano and being in a place where it should be, not in the place that family or society or parents or your environment is pushing you, like pressing you, like you should be there. Because I think as a social worker and as a person and project manager that each one of us is belonging his own place in the world, and it's not a place that someone else is telling you where it should be. We have the feelings as humans, and we know where we're supposed to be.
Of course.
It's not so easy. Some of us we know when we are 15, some of us when we are 20, 30, but at some point we have this kind of feelings, and we know where we belong as
And in the example you gave, in the case studies you gave, where does this project come in?
This project, this person is helping us with the case studies, so that's why we had the feeling, each one of us as person, project managers and organizations, that was important to focus on a project like this.
Absolutely, and I'm just trying
in order to collect like case studies, podcasts,
Yes, I see.
tools to give a chance.
Okay.
Of course, we are not psychologists. We are not giving this kind of help to people, but we are showing that there are different perspectives and there are different ways, and it's not just one. Like we are not horses, let's say, like this. We have more options.
Okay, I think I got it now. So this history that you just shared, it can be a case studies
Yes,
for this project. Okay, now I have a better picture of myself. I'm a bit visual person. That's why I was insisting of giving an example. Yeah.
And the project it is called virtual museum of Disasterpieces. So it's like you're going to a virtual museum and you have many different types of failures, and you can understand that failure is not only one type. It can be indifferent for everyone has his own failure. So you can resonate more with one and understand that other people has the same feelings or different feelings and different kind of failures. So you can see, there are many of them, and you can
I'm not alone.
Hey, I'm not
Yeah.
alone, and the same failure, my failure is different from this, but I think this is not a fair. So you start thinking about failure in different ways, and starting this construction process we're talking about.
Do you mean this is available online, or is it going to be? It will be available online.
Something is
On a website.
already available, but this
Yeah,
is in
I remember Emily
final
said it.
result.
Well, I wanted to go back to the example you gave, because this case study, especially, this is where people don't realize sometimes we are at a very vulnerable age that you have to decide what to study, and then you have the pressure from the family or the surroundings, and then it can lead to a real disaster. You get confused, and then you need some guidance, definitely.
And I mean, it's okay to start over.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, as Arianna said in to the case studies, it's okay to be any age and decide, okay, this is not for me. I want to make my start. Of course, it won't be easy. It's
Yeah,
not easy.
I was-
Also because I'm not sure about Cyprus, for example. In Spain, I know more or less, but for example, in Italy, it's like when you are between, let's say, 5 and 15, you should do something. And then between 15 and 20, and if you, something else. And if you want to study, it's better if you are between 18 and 24. It's like stages are really fixed to study, to have family, or to get a good job. It's like you can't move between different
yeah.
stages.
I would
remember-
say
It's
it's
like
similar
we
in
have
Cyprus.
fixed life.
Yes.
Yes, I remember when I went to study abroad, and like a lot of people were different ages, and they would say that, oh, after school I went for a gap year. And I was like,
Yes, yes,
what
yes.
is a gap year?
We don't know what it is.
I
Exactly.
Does this exist? What do you do on a gap year? And they were like saying I was traveling. And I was
Oh,
like, okay.
travel. It's
Bye.
lately I found out it's not just traveling; it's just taking a step back to decide what I really
Yes,
want.
and
Exactly.
it's very
Which is
precious,
and is
but for us, it seems like you are wasting
You're
time.
losing- yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
And imagine that until I went to university, I didn't have the idea of a gap year.
exactly.
Yeah.
The same for
So,
It's I would say Cyprus is similar, but don't you feel that this has started? I've at least I feel that this has started to change a little bit. Of course, I remember back in UK where I studied that it used to be then very different. It's more you can at any age you can.
move.
It's normal to see you see it more often. Of course, you see these certain absolute things from 5 until 10, and as you said, but you see also other modes of life. It's more acceptable to study at a different age, or switch career, or even if you studied something but then you move on to another industry. More flexible.
yes.
I don't think it's the same.
Yes,
Here in
definitely.
Cyprus, yeah.
It's. I think it's getting better,
Yeah,
but there's a long way to go. But
Yeah.
the good
Yeah.
thing is that we have started
yeah,
deconstructing a bit the boxes and the labels, that the age labels basically, and what
Yes.
they need to be attached to.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And it also, I can see a slow but meaningful changing in how young people perceive failure or success.
Okay.
And they are more focused about feelings, and I see it like a very positive aspect. But depending on the society and the world that is still structured in the same old way, it increases their vulnerability and their fragility. So it is a very tricky time to help them in accepting their feeling
yeah.
and understanding that they are not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be useful to
Yes,
do this work now.
And it's important that through this project, yes, we provide the tools and everything, but we also want to give the message that if you experience a disaster, your own disaster, and you need help, it's okay to seek help.
Yes, that's
to
another.
seek a professional help.
Yeah.
It's really, it's a human experience. We are not superheroes or superhumans. It's okay to go and ask for help whenever you need support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important too. I'm wondering now if anyone else of you would like to share some either personal or other experience.
I remember when about the activity that Arianna said. You won't talk, it's okay.
Arianna's Disasterpiece.
No, I remember when we had to share our own stories, for example, and I would write it, and I was like, oh, I should have added something less personal or something else that doesn't seem that disastrous. And when I read other people's
experiences,
things, I was
yes.
like, okay, that's not something bad. I mean, everything went well at the
That's
end.
a different point of view. I think I see what you mean.
It was really interesting to see the value that we put in our experiences, and if you see it from a different point of view, it's okay. Everything went out how they were supposed to be, and now everything is okay. Like everything has fallen into place.
I think you know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Sometimes when I speak to people, I'm like, I'm in a real bad situation. This is what's happening to me. And then the other people start and they say their own things, and I think to myself, okay, I'm okay. Not so bad at the end of the day. No. Is this what
I mean, it's because we feel it. We add the emotions to it because it's our experience. But then like everything is not that bad as it seems. That's what I understood from that.
That's a good thing to let people know.
Always there are exceptions, but for the majority, I understood that. Okay, it's not.
Actually, from my side, from my point of view, the exercise was really interesting because I realized two things. One, that is my mind wants to keep out the failures. Like I was trying to think a bit, and not because I'm a successful person, but because my mind was want to take off like failures from my life experience from one side, and was quite complicated to focus on failures because it's like something that you want to avoid from your life. And from another side, I realized that talking with the others is good. It's like to helping you to take it off. Let's say, okay, I'm experimenting these kind of things, but also the others, they are living the same, they are experimenting the same. So I'm not alone in the process of processing everything, because the others also, they are at the same stage. So I think that's, we are doing a good job, because I mean, I don't want to be like pretending to do a good job, but we have place to share. And it's important to share, safe space to share.
I'm sure you're doing a useful work, if you don't want to call it important, and well done. Anna Maria, any disaster piece?
Oh, a lot of.
Okay, which one?
2 books of this.
Yes, 2 big books of Disasterpieces. But I made a video with, I participate in the video making of Disasterpiece, and I told 2 or maybe 3 personal Disasterpieces, and including one that is very difficult for me to accept, that is not having protected my mom from a bad experience in the local hospital that eventually led her to die. And this was, I felt this like a personal failure, that I was not able to be so determined to bring her and to pick up her and bring her to another hospital. So it was a failure for me, because I had to be strong. I had to be the one who decided, and she died.
Or perhaps you had to meet this the daughter standards of society.
Yes, not only. I had to be the super daughter.
Yes.
Her super daughter.
Thank you very much for sharing this personal experience with us.
It's still very hard for me to tell this. But there is another thing I would like to add. It's not a personal, but it's what is how I try to live disasters. A key component in dealing with failures is humor.
Yes.
Yes, it is so powerful.
It is.
Yes, and I think we can use humor with everything.
Yes.
Even dark humor, even totally people, oh my God, no, it's very useful.
Yes.
It's very useful. And I use it all the time.
Yes, it's a very important and useful ingredient. And
Yes.
if I would also like to add, I think at the end of the day, it's also up to each and everyone to undertake their responsibilities, their self-responsibilities, and so it's a little bit of what we said. Not many things are up to us,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, it's up to us to move on with our lives.
And
Exactly.
to decide on our perspective, like
Yes.
I mean, a lot of things happen in the world. If you want to start blaming other people, it
Yes.
you will stand still.
Yes.
It's-
If you want to take life into your own hands, then okay, these things are happening, but you have the responsibility to change them or to act in a way.
Even though we said earlier that only there are not many things
Yes,
are not
what
up
you
to
can
us.
control,
Yes.
basically.
But I think this undertaking our responsibility, I think,
Yes.
and our self-care and well-being,
Yes.
I think is the very first, the most important thing, and the best thing we can do to ourselves. Oh, that was to me at least, it was an incredible discussion. We are almost to an hour of this conversation. Let me know if you have anything in your mind that you would like to close this. Anything that you'd like to share on this podcast.
It's okay to fail.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone fails. It's not something bad. You can learn from it. And
It's okay.
I
Share it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a good thing to share your failures.
And
Uh-huh.
accept.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
accept. Yes. Let's do that. Thank you again, Arianna,
Thank you.
Emily, Anna Maria. It was great having you today. Wishing you all the best for this project. It's disasterpiece.eu. We'll write on this will be out on YouTube and on Spotify and in other platforms. We'll stay in touch. And thank you again for having you today.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you to you. It was wonderful to chat with you.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. Thank you.